Hello students, you are with Bindu Chaudhary and we are continuing our social science part, and the name of the book is Resources and Development, and in this book we are continuing on our chapter 2nd. The name of the chapter is Land, Soil, Water, Natural Vegetation and Wildlife Resources. Yes, in this chapter we are reading about these resources, and in the previous parts we had already discussed about the land resource, types of land, how the area is spread in the population wise. So it depends on the land to land, that how much dense population is there. Same with the soil resources, we had discussed different types of resources, and in this different types of resources we had discussed about which type of soil is preferred for agriculture and which type of agriculture, and how to conserve the soil erosion. This one is the main important part. We had discussed about the terrace farming, about the other solutions of conservation of soil erosion. Next we had discussed about the water resources. Water is an essential element in our day to day life, and it is only depends on we, yes, we human beings, that how we are using all these things. So students, it is our moral duty to preserve water and to save water. As the minimum use of water we are doing, the best results in the future generations comes with the water resources. Yes, water ऐसी चीज़ है बच्चों जो कभी भी हम ये नहीं कह सकते कि ख़त्म नहीं होगी. So it is our moral duty to save water. Next, in today's part 3rd episode, we are continuing about the natural vegetation and wildlife resources. So all you are ready with me? Okay, we are continuing with the exhibition. In this exhibition some students are there and how they observe the things and what types of things are there. Let's see here. Natural vegetation and wildlife we are discussing here, and in this one some children of the school were visiting an exhibition on handicrafts. So which type of handicrafts materials are there? Let's see. The articles in the exhibition were collected from different parts of the country. Yes, not only from one state or one region, these articles collected from the different parts of the country. And which type of articles are there? See here, we are taking example of Mona. Mona is so much excited for what? See, Mona picked up a bag and exclaimed, "This is a beautiful handbag." Then her teacher replied to him, "Yeah, it is made from jute." And this is an amazing fact for Mona. Jute and this one bag, because before this one many other things which are using in the purpose of the manufacturing of the bags, Mona see that thing, and this one is the really amazing thing for her. And see the other things also in the exhibition. Do you see those baskets, lampshades and chairs? Do you imagine, students, from which material all these things are made up of? See here, those are made up of canes and bamboos. Yes, different types of baskets, different lampshades and chairs are made up of canes and bamboos. Bamboos, yes, bamboos are an example of trees. See here, in the eastern and northeastern humid regions of India, bamboo grows in a plenty of way. That's why most of the materials for the exhibition, for the articles used in the exhibition displayed were made by the eastern and नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न ह्यूमिड रीजन. आप कह सकते हैं मैम क्या अब यहाँ पे जो एग्जीबिशंस लगती है क्या अब मटेरियल यहाँ से नहीं आता? नो स्टूडेंट, स्टिल इट इज़ कमिंग. आप देखिए आपके शहरों में अलग अलग मेले लगते रहते हैं, उन मेलों में हैंडीक्राफ्ट्स के जो मेले होते हैं वहाँ पे डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ मटेरियल्स आर कमिंग इन दैट वन, एंड सी these materials are coming from the different regions of our country. So these bamboo grows in the eastern and northeastern humid regions of India. Then Jessie was also excited because Jessie see a silk scarf. You know the scarf we are wearing. So see, this is a beautiful scarf, Jessie told to everyone. And what is the reply of the others? See, especially the teacher explained the silk is obtained from silkworms. Yes, it's a matter of fact that this silk is obtained from these types of silkworms. ये एक तरह के कीड़े होते हैं जो मलबरी ट्रीज में रहते हैं, मलबरी ट्रीज के ऊपर ही इनका ज़्यादातर आश्रय होता है। और हम क्या देखते हैं बच्चों कि जैसे जैसे इनके यहाँ से ये सिल्क थ्रेड टाइप का निकलता रहता है, वी ह्यूमंस कलेक्टेड दैट वन एंड वी यूज दैट फॉर डिफरेंट पर्पजेज. सो टीचर एक्सप्लेन टू जैसे दैट दीज थिंग्स, दिस सिल्क इज ऑब्टेन्ड फ्रॉम silkworm and these silkworm are bred on mulberry trees. कहाँ पे रहते हैं silkworm बच्चों? मलबरी ट्रीज के ऊपर रहते हैं. So this is the best example of silk. Another example, see here, the children understood that plants provides us with many different products that we use in our day-to-day life. Yes, it is the real truth that from the plants we are getting so much benefit, so much different things we are getting from plants, as these are the only some examples of the plants material. See, when we are talking about natural vegetation, so this one is the great example, but we have another resource also, wildlife resource. See here, natural vegetation and wildlife exist only in the narrow zone of contact between the lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere that we call biosphere. कहाँ कहाँ है ये देखिए, ये वाइल्ड लाइफ और नेचुरल वेजिटेशन कहाँ कहाँ मिलती है बच्चों? यह मिलती है लिथोस्फीयर में और हाइड्रोस्फीयर में और ऐसी एटमॉस्फेयर जहाँ पर कि चारों तरफ बायोस्फीयर है, तो वहाँ पे ऐसे एटमॉस्फेयर में ही हम क्या देखते हैं बच्चों? ज़्यादातर वाइल्ड लाइफ रिसोर्सेज एंड नेचुरल वेजिटेशंस आर देयर. सी, इन द बायोस्फीयर living beings are interrelated and interdependent on each other for survival. Do you know what birds, what animals eating? It's okay, they are eating meats or flesh also, but other than these animals, what are they eating? They are dependent on whom? They are dependent on trees for their day-to-day food facilities. So other things also, these trees also needed some expectations from animals also, because the abstract of the animals, they fertilize the plants. So these interrelated or interdependent on each other for the purpose of the survival. So this one is the best example. This life supporting system is known as the ecosystem. That's why we call this life supporting system interdependent, interrelated to each other for the purpose of survival. So this one supporting system is known as what? This one is known as ecosystem. I think the concept is totally clear to all of you. Next one here, see, vegetation and wildlife are valuable resources. How these are valuable resources? As we are taking some examples earlier also, and now see this one. Plants provides us with timber, give shelter to animals, produce oxygen with breath, protect soils also, so essential for growing crops. See, many benefits from plants we have. First of all, we get timber for the different purposes in our life, and see the another one, for the purpose of animals. Animals get shelter under the plants, and overall this one, what another thing, the main important thing is the produce of oxygen. Which oxygen? Which we breathe. हम ऑक्सीजन ही तो ग्रहण करते हैं बच्चों, तो हम जो ऑक्सीजन ग्रहण करते हैं वह कौन बनाता है? Yes, obviously plants makes them. So another example of the plants are that plants provides and protect soils, so essential for growing crops, because we had already discussed about the soil erosion portion. So for the soil erosions stopping methods and the conservation of soil erosion, plants also helped. Plants had an important role for this one. These acts as the shelter belts, so helps us in storage of underground water, because this one is also necessary. How much plants are there, then the level of the underground water is also up in the earth, so it's an important thing. Next one is the plants gives us fruit, plants gives us nuts also, and what other things, latex also given by plants, and see turpentine oil and gum. Medicinal plants are also there who gives us the best results for the treatment of any patients and for the treatment of any other I think injuries and other things also. So this one is the important part, how plants are useful in our day to day life. But how students plants are useful for you and me? Yes, plants also helps you and me, because we are using papers, and all these papers are essential for our studies material, and all these papers are made up of the different parts of plants. So plants are essential for you and me also, because we are taking breath, we are taking oxygen, we are taking nuts, fruits, animals are taking shelter under plants. So lots of uses are there of plants. See, there are the innumerable uses of plants, and you can also add some more things also. Do you add this one or not, students? Yes, obviously you will add other things also. So how plants are useful to all of us? This one is the main question here. Next one we are including here the another resources. Yes, about the wildlife resources. See here, wildlife includes animals, birds, insects as well as the aquatic life forms. So wildlife is not only including the earthly parts, it includes the aquatic life also. कौन सी होती है बच्चों aquatic life? जहाँ पर समुद्र के पानी के अंदर भी बहुत सारे इंसेक्ट्स, बहुत सारे ऐसे तंतु, मछली है, क्रोकोडाइल है, या फिर हम कहें टॉर्टोइज है, मैनी थिंग्स, लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स आर देयर फॉर द पर्पज ऑफ द इंसेक्ट्स. सो aquatic life is also necessary, and aquatic life with the lives of animals, with the lives of birds, all these things included in the wildlife resource. See here, these animals, these wildlife resources provides us first of all milk. Milk is totally essential for all of us, and you know our morning starts from the milk. So this milk is provided by whom? By the wildlife. And next one is the meat. Then what? Hides and wools also provided by these animals, birds, insects and other aquatic materials or aquatic life members. So from the aquatic life members, you know, all meats material and other things you get from all these things. So lots of things are helpful in our day to day life with the help of these wildlife resources. See this one, how beautiful is the bird, and bird is the another example of wildlife resource. See, we have many insects, and the one important insect is bee. Insects like bees provides us honey, which help in pollination of flowers and have an important role to play as decomposers in the ecosystem. So insects plays the important roles in the eco life also, because some best example of the insects is the honey. Yes, we gets honey from whom? We gets honey from bees. So this honey is so much important for all of us. But the another thing also, this helps the pollination of the फ्लावर्स आल्सो. आपने देखा परागकण एक फूल से लेके दूसरे फूल पे चले जाते हैं, दूसरी जगह पे चले जाते हैं. तो ये सब अलग अलग पेड़ों को अलग अलग जगह पे कौन लगा देता है? इनमें इंसेक्ट्स भी तो हेल्प करते हैं ना. दूसरा देखिए यहाँ पे, ऑल दीज हेल्प्स टू प्ले एज द इम्पॉर्टेंट रोल एज द डीकम्पोजर्स इन द इकोसिस्टम. हमारे इकोसिस्टम में इनका बहुत बड़ा रोल है. सी दी बर्ड्स फीड्स ऑन इंसेक्ट्स and act as decomposers as well. How these birds? These birds feeds only on insects. What is the food of birds? Different types of foods are there, but you know these birds also eats insects. So this one is the decomposers also. So what is the another thing in the wildlife resources is important for all of us? See here, vulture, due to its ability to feed on dead livestock, is a scavenger and considered a vital cleanser of the environment. You know what is this vulture? जिसके लिए हम कहते हैं कि बहुत दूर से इनको पहचान हो जाती है अपने शिकारी, जो ये शिकार करते हैं उसकी. See here, these vultures feed on only and only on the dead livestock. जो मरे हुए जानवर होते हैं उन जानवरों को कौन खाता है बच्चों? vulture खाता है. And see here, this is the scavenger and considered as the vital cleanser. और इसीलिए हम क्या कहते हैं, ये एक बहुत ही अच्छा साफ सफाई करने वाला है. किसकी? ऑफ द एनवायरमेंट. हमारे एनवायरमेंट की साफ सफाई कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि जितने भी डेड लाइव स्टॉक्स हैं vulture eats them. Another one is the example of animals. Maybe they are big animals, maybe they are small. So all are integral or maintaining balance in the ecosystem. Different types of animals have different roles in the ecosystem. Maybe they are small, maybe they are big. So it is important that what are they doing and what is the important role they are playing for the purpose of the ecosystem. See here, we have a distribution of natural vegetation here. See, this one is the greenery portion, and see how this greenery seems so much beautiful, and different shades of the greeneries are here. See, the growth of vegetation depends on many things, and first of all depends on the primarily on two resources. First one is the temperature and second one is the moisture. Yes, where moisture and temperature is there, then natural vegetation grows very well there. The major vegetation types of the world are grouped as forest, grasslands, scrubs and टुंड्रा. अलग अलग रीजन्स हैं बच्चों, अलग अलग रीजन्स में अलग अलग जो मेजर वेजिटेशन है वो ग्रोथ करती है. सी, आपने देखा होगा फॉरेस्ट में, बहुत जंगल में बहुत सारे पेड़ पौधे होते हैं. यू सी द ग्रासलैंड्स एरियाज आल्सो, यू सी द स्क्रब्स एंड टुंड्रा रीजन्स. इट्स ओके, ओनली a few of the persons see this one. So this one is the best example of the major vegetation in areas where there is a heavy rainfall and huge trees may thrive there. So for the purpose of the thrives of the trees, what is needed? Heavy rainfall, temperature and moisture is needed for the proper natural vegetations. See here, the forests are thus associated with areas having abundant water supplies. That is the important thing, that forest only develops because they are associated with the water supply and heavy rains are there. हम कहते हैं ना, जितने पेड़ आप लगाएंगे उतना ही बारिश को वो अपने पास में बुलाएंगे, बिकॉज ह्यूमिडिटी इज देयर एंड द एटमॉस्फेयर इज आल्सो हैविंग मॉइस्चर, एंड ऑन दैट conditions, you know, the greenery as well as the rainfall, everything grows very well. Next one is the amount of moisture decreases the size of trees and their density reduces. अगर हम देखते हैं कि मॉइस्चर कैसा है, मॉइस्चर अगर बहुत ही कम है, बहुत ही कम मॉइस्चर है एटमॉस्फेयर में, देन व्हाट इज द फीडबैक ऑफ दिस वन, द साइज ऑफ द ट्रीज डिक्रीजेज इन दैट एरियाज, प्लस देयर इज अ वेरी reduced density of trees there. So it is important that if we need the main parts of the forest, it means the greenery parts, the greenlands, then it is our duty to develop the atmosphere, as there is so much moisture and humidity is just a first need for the growing of the better growing of the trees. Next one is the short standing trees. See, the size of the trees depends on area to area, region to regions, and the factors which are depends on this one. Important thing, trees are depends on many factors: the light of sun, the supply of water, the foods they had taken from the earth. So it is the short standing trees and grasses grow in the regions of moderate rainfall, forming the grasslands of the world. जहाँ पे grasslands होती हैं, जहाँ पे चरागाह होते हैं, वहाँ पे बच्चों मौसम कैसा रहता है, स्पेशली अगर हम बात करें छोटे छोटे जहाँ पे ग्रोइंग हो रहा है, ऑन दैट एरिया ग्रासेस हो रही हैं, तो वहाँ पे जो मॉडरेट रेनफॉल है वह होती है, और उसी की वजह से वो जो पोर्शन है वह ग्रासलैंड्स में कवर कर लिया जाता है, क्योंकि मॉडरेट रेनफॉल इज देयर. सो इट्स अ इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग फॉर द पर्पज ऑफ द शॉर्ट ट्रीज. नेक्स्ट वन इज द shrubs and other things. See, thorny shrubs and scrubs grow in dry areas of low rainfall. थॉर्नी, कांटेदार, आप अपने आस पड़ोस में, अगर आप राजस्थान से बिलोंग करते हैं, अगर आप ड्राई रीजन से बिलोंग करते हैं इंडिया के, तो यू सी द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ द low rainfall there, and with this example you another see the thorny shrubs. कांटेदार जो होते हैं पेड़, उनको आपने देखा होगा, कांटेदार आपने देखा बबूल को, आपने थॉर्नी श्रब्स भी देखे हैं और स्क्रब्स भी देखे हैं. सो दीज ओनली ग्रोज इन द ड्राई areas of low rainfall. So in such areas plants have deep roots, बहुत ही गहरी roots होती है वहाँ पे plants की, and leaves with thorny and waxy surface reduce loss of moisture through transpiration, and this one is the main reason why the leaves are thorny. Why? Because of the loss of moisture is there. That's why leaves with thornies and waxy surfaces are there on the thorny shrubs. Next one is the tundra vegetation. टुंड्रा प्रदेश की हम बात करते हैं. टुंड्रा में किस तरह की वेजिटेशन होती है, हम बच्चों उसकी बात करते हैं. तो देखिए, टुंड्रा वेजिटेशन ऑफ कोल्ड पोलर रीजन्स. कहाँ पे है ये कोल्ड पोलर रीजन्स को कवर करते हुए होती है, एंड दिस कंप्राइज ऑफ मॉसेस एंड लिचन्स. और यहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा मॉसेस एंड लिचन्स होते हैं. सी, today there are many more people in the world than there were 2 centuries back. Yes, we all know that increasing of number of population is day by day going on very much. So if we are saying that 2 centuries back, what is the population, what is the number of population was there, so we all know that at present situation much lesser than present day. So we all know that the world had only and only 2 centuries back lesser population than today. So to feed the growing numbers of population, large areas of forest have been cleared to grow crops. पहले फॉरेस्ट बहुत ज़्यादा होते थे, परंतु अब जैसे जैसे पॉपुलेशन बढ़ रही है बच्चों, तो उस पॉपुलेशन की जो डेली नीड्स हैं, उन डेली नीड्स को कंप्लीट करने के लिए हमें पता है कि हमें ज़्यादा क्रॉप्स की ज़रूरत होगी. एंड फॉर दैट पर्पज़ व्हाट इज़ द पीपल डूइंग? Important thing, large areas of the forest have been cleared and on that place we grow crops. So this one is the reason why forests are lesser and lesser day by day. What is this, students? This is the picture of snake और another one. snake ही है या snake के से भी बड़ा अजगर है ये? Yes, this one is the types of a snake, maybe a small, maybe big. Forest covers all over the world is vanishing rapidly. It's okay. 2 centuries back we have some great number of forest areas are there in all of the world, but at present situation is so much furious to all of us because these forests are vanishing rapidly day by day, not only from India, not from only from special reasons, all of the world we see that these forests are vanishing rapidly day by day, and there is an urgent need to conserve this valuable resource. So it's our moral duty to conserve the forestry part of all of the world. So what we will do here, see some steps of conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife. And in this one, first of all, we are taking that forests are our wealth. We all know that forests are giving so much contributions in our day-to-day lives, in the lives of the birds, in the lives of the animals, in the lives of the other insects and other things living in the environment. So plants give shelter to the animals and together they are maintaining the main part, it means ecosystem. So plants are maintaining the ecosystem in a very proper way. See here, different types of things are there. So at present situation is what? At present situation is so much considered furious because changes of climate and human interferences are there, and all these things causes the loss of natural habitats, not only for the plants and animals but for other insects and other system materials and system things also. So this one is the important thing, that changes of climate and human interference must be stopped for the protection of the plants, for the protection of the animals, for the protection of the birds, insects and other things, other living creatures. Next one is the many species. When we are talking about the species in the survivals in the earth, then what happens? Many species have become vulnerable or endangered at present situation, and some are on the verge of extinction also. So it's our moral duty not to interfere in the ecosystem part, not to interfere the forestry part. So it's the human's moral duty to save earth, save these insects and save these species for the future purpose, because at present situation is what? These are vulnerable or endangered and some of the species near about the extinction stage. So what's our moral duty, students? Yes, to control on ourselves, to preserve our plants, to preserve our forests, to preserve our natural resources, for an example vegetation, for an example wildlife resources. See here, another one is the deforestation. We will control this deforestation, soil erosion, constructional activities forest fires, tsunami and landslides are some of the human and natural factors which accelerate the process of extinction of these resources. See, at present situation many things in the environment happens. What are these things? First of all, we human beings are also so much interfering in all these things. First of all, what? Deforestation is the there. See, जंगलों की कटाई हो रही है और वापस नए पेड़ भी नहीं उगाए जा रहे हैं. And another one is the from all these things what happens? Soil erosion happens and construction activities are also there. And for these construction activities, what we are doing? We are cutting trees for the purpose of the more and large buildings, for the purpose of the more lands we are using, for the purpose of the more things in our drawing rooms also. Next one is the forest fire. Yes, from many reasons forest fires are there, and these forest fires also lost our forestry portions. So this one is also necessary. And when we are talking about the natural climatic conditions, then you see about tsunami, you had heard already about the tsunami. एंड लैंडस्लाइड्स आर आल्सो देयर. भूस्खलन होता है. भूस्खलन में आप देखिए कि कितना बड़ा नुकसान होता है, और हम देखते हैं कि ये जो इतना बड़ा नुकसान है, यहाँ पे जान माल की तो हानि हो ही रही है बच्चों. एंड प्लस all these forests, all these natural conditions of our environment also losing their own image. So all these things must be preserved, and it is our moral duty that humans and natural factors, these accelerates the process of extinction of these resources. So what is our moral duty? It's our moral duty to stop all these activities, to grow more and more forestry parts, to grow more and more vegetation, to grow more and more trees for the purpose of the environment, for the purpose of the wildlife resources. So it's only humans interference, and humans beings must stop their interference in all these things. See here, one of the major concerns is the poaching. Yes, poaching is also the main concern. It results in a sharp decline in the number of particular species. At present situation is what? आप फिल्मों में कई ऐसे स्पीसीज के बारे में देखते हैं बच्चों जो अब नहीं है. Who is responsible for all these things? Yes, we humans. We humans are responsible for all these things. That's why it is needed that if we need some great things in the nature, then we should preserve all these things. The animals are posed for collection and illegal trades of hides, skins, nails, teeth, horns as well as feathers. You know the main थिंग्स यूज्ड बाय द एनिमल्स. एनिमल्स को क्यों मारा जाता है? हाथी को क्यों मारा जाता है बच्चों? उनके लंबे लंबे दांतों को क्यों काट दिया जाता है? हाथियों के लिए उनके जो ये लंबे लंबे दांत हैं बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट रोल अदा करते हैं. पर बच्चों हम एक चीज़ और आपको बताएं कि एट प्रेजेंट सिचुएशन क्या हो रही है. We killed animals, not we, some of our other fellows killed animals only and only for the purpose of the collection of the skins, for the purpose of the collection of their nails, their tails, their horns and as well as their feathers also. आपको भी मोर की पंख को वापस अपनी किताबों में रखना अच्छा लगता है ना बच्चों? बट हमें पता है कि वो एक अलग बात है. लेकिन लोग जो हैं वो लालची हो गए हैं. वो क्या करना शुरू कर दिए हैं? उन्होंने ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा पोचिंग शुरू कर दी है फॉर द पर्पज़ ऑफ द इलीगल ट्रेड्स. सो इट मस्ट बी स्टॉप्ड. अदर थिंग्स आल्सो सी हियर, दिस वन, सम ऑफ दीज एनिमल्स आर टाइगर, lion, elephant, deer, black bug, crocodile, rhinoceros, snow leopard, ostrich and peacock. Yes, all these animals are on the sharp targets of the poaching material because these animals are killed for the purpose of the different things they are holding in their bodies. So what? It's our humans' main mistake that we are poaching all these animals. See, these can be conserved by increasing awareness. अब देखिए कई लोग पकड़े जाते हैं जिनके पास में हाथी दांत होते हैं, जिनके पास में आप देखिए पीकॉक्स को भी बहुत ज़्यादा मारा जाता है, ऑस्ट्रिचेस को भी मारा जाता है, एंड राइनोक्रस, क्रोकोडाइल्स, इन सब को, इनकी जो चीज़ें हैं उन चीज़ों को हत्याने के लिए इंसान इतना लालची हो चुका है बच्चों कि वो इनकी हत्या कर देता है। और ये जो इलीगल ट्रेड है ये बहुत ज़्यादा हो रहा है। सो अगेन इट्स हुज मोरल ड्यूटी? Again it's the moral duty of you and me. Yes, the moral duty of the human beings to stop all these things and to increase the awareness between the peoples. See, many national parks, many wildlife sanctuaries, biosphere reserves are there for the protection of our natural vegetation as well as our wildlife resources. It's okay, government is taking steps for the preservation, for the conservation of our natural vegetations as well as wildlife things, and only for this purpose they had started some national parks, wildlife sanctuaries as well as biosphere reserves, only for the increasing number of what? Increasing number of wildlife resources. Other conservation of creeks, lakes and wetlands is necessary to save the precious resource from the depletion. So it's our moral duty that these creeks, these lakes also preserved by all of us. There is a balance in the environment if the relative number of species is not disturbed. So it is again depends on ourselves that if we need some balanced environment, so it is our moral duty not to disturb all these species, because these species are interdependent on one another, and we human beings also depends on all these animals, all these insects, all these other birds also. So we must conserve all these things. See here, human activities in several parts of the world have disturbed the natural habitats of many species. आजकल हम इंसान हैं, हम ऐसी ऐसी जगहों पे चले जाते हैं जहाँ पर कि इन स्पीसीज को आगे से आगे मल्टीपल ग्रोइंग होना होता है, but we are interfering in that part also. So we will not do this, we will stop all these things. See, this one is the natural environment where these are growing and multiplying. Due to indiscriminate killings, what happens? Several birds and animals have either become extinct or are on the verge of extinction. That's why when we are saying that we are interfering in the lives of all these species, we are killing these species, then what happens? All these species, maybe they are birds, maybe they are animals, they are becoming in a position of the extinction. So what we will do? Awareness programs we will start, and in these awareness programs like social forestries and Van Mahotsav should be encouraged at the regional as well as community level. So we will aware about the people about all these programs, and school children should be encouraged. Yes students, you should be encouraged to bird watch and visit nature campus so that they appreciate the habitat of varied species. It's our moral duty, your parents' duties also, your school heads' duties also, that time to time they encourage to you that they see the bird watching and visits the nature campus where you will appreciate the habitats of the varied species. See what is this picture shows? This picture shows the elephants. तो एलिफेंट्स को ग्रो करना है, उनको मल्टीपल्स करना है, तो इसके लिए उनके पास में अच्छा एनवायरनमेंट होना बहुत ज़रूरी है। और बच्चों अगर अच्छा एनवायरनमेंट नहीं होगा और ह्यूमन बींग्स का इंटरफेरेंस होगा तो बट नेचुरल क्या होगा, these species comes to be in a condition of extinctions. In many countries have passed laws also against the trade as well as the killing of birds and animals. We Indians have also some laws about the preservation of birds and animals and to stop the trades and to stop the killing purpose of birds and animals. We are talking about India. In India, killing lions, tigers, deers, great Indians, bustards and peacocks is totally illegal, and human beings must be punished for killing all these animals and insects and birds. An international convention sites has been established that lists several species of animals and birds in which raid is prohibited. Yes, some of the species in a condition of extinction. So again we are saying that an international convention sites also established that these are the only few species are there. So again there is the awareness for all of us to save these species for the multiples in their future life also. And for this thing, conservation of plants as well as animals is an ethical duty of every citizen. Yes, we all do our duty in a very proper way. If anyone is killing, if anyone is harming, if anyone is cutting the trees and killing the plants and harming the insects and animals also, so what we will do? We threaten them, we control them, we complain them, and it's our moral duty to conserve all these plants and species for ourselves also. So this is the best chapter of our book, and I think these all resources helps in our day to day life, and we human beings have moral duty to conserve all these resources. How you are looking for this chapter? Not for the purpose of reading, but for the purpose of the taking education also. In the next part we will again meet with our question answer session. Have a nice day.